Stop telling yourself you're waiting for the right time. Stop polishing the myth that one more free weekend, one more boost in talent, one lucky break will open the door. You know why you haven't moved. Comfort, dressed up, rebranded, sold to you as balance and mental health and sustainable pace. You swear it's wise, you call it maturity. But the truth is simple and ugly. The life you want costs discomfort, and you're still trying to pay with coupons. You tell yourself success will show up when time frees up, when the chaos settles, when your skills get there, when the universe finally spots you in the crowd and hands you a ticket. You rehearse it like a prayer. Once the kid's schedule calms, once the project closes, once you've read 3 more books, then you'll start. You imagine progress as a season that arrives on its own like spring, but seasons don't build anything. Men do. And I get why it feels true. Your days are busy. Your effort is not fake. You are not lazy. You move, you sweat, you fill hours with motion. The world even applauds you for it. They love your balance. They call you grounded, measured, healthy. They pat you on the back for switching off at 5, for boundaries, for taking your foot off the gas in the name of sanity. It sounds noble. It gets likes. It wears a virtue badge that excuses the one thing you keep postponing, finishing the hard work that scares you. Balance has become your camouflage. You hide your hesitation under applause. Beneath that applause runs a quieter machine. Your nervous system is a protection racket. It files anything uncertain under danger. It grabs the mic and shouts threat at the first sign of effort with no guaranteed payoff. That voice is not dumb. It's cunning. Fear becomes intelligent when it learns to speak your language. It will call avoidance strategy. It will call delay patience. It will call softness sustainable. And you'll nod because the words sound mature. You'll nod as your dreams wither under good logic. You think you're choosing wise pacing. You're laundering avoidance through vocabulary that lets you sleep. The problem isn't that you lack capacity, is that your tolerance for discomfort has never been trained. Courage in you is not broken, it's atrophied. You've engineered your life to remove friction. Everything is on demand, every problem has an app. You've built a cockpit of convenience that keeps you cushioned from the small shocks that actually harden a man. You treat discomfort like failure instead of fuel. You've built such a soft runway that the plane never reaches speed. So you drift into micro avoidances. You don't call them that, but you know them by heart. You check instead of do. You snack to pause the push. You scroll to look for ideas and lose 40 minutes to nothing. You take a lap to set the mood, adjust the chair, clean the desk, adjust the playlist, answer the one email, open the other tab. Tell yourself you're getting ready. That's not preparation, that's escape wearing a work shirt. And the cost isn't just time, it's identity. Every micro avoidance makes a promise you don't keep. The gap between who you say you are and what you actually do becomes a quiet daily betrayal. You start waking up to a man you don't respect. Keep it running long enough and comfort inflates your set point. Things that used to feel mild now feel impossible. Projects calcify while you sharpen pencils. You become a collector of half-built bridges that go nowhere. And your self-respect, it doesn't explode, it erodes. It turns into sarcasm and hot takes. You start mocking the men who are still willing to bleed in the arena. You pick at their intensity, call it insecurity, call it obsession, call it toxic. But that's not analysis, that's resentment. You watch them do what you refuse to. You resent their risk because it admits your refusal. Spectators always develop opinions about the fighter, and the longer you spectate, the more your tongue becomes a weapon you use against your own potential. This is where most men stay. They build a clever belief system to defend the thing they're scared to touch. They call it values. They call it family first. They call it, I don't want to be one of those guys. Meanwhile, they sneak their phone to the bathroom to escape their life for 8 minutes a time, 12 times a day. That isn't family first, that's comfort first. It sounds brutal because it is. Comfort is expensive. It charges you in private, then leaves you broke in public. The break doesn't come from another book or another affirmation. It comes when the pain of your own softness outgrows the pain of effort. When the lie you tell yourself starts to taste like poison. When the discomfort of staying the same becomes too heavy to carry for one more month, you will feel it. It's not noble, it's not graceful, it's a mirror you can't dodge. And in that moment, if you listen, you'll hear something else under the sirens of danger. You'll hear a simple translation. This is not danger, this is effort. Your body is not warning you about death. It's warning you that you've never practiced going past warm. It calls ordinary strain an emergency because you never trained under it. That alarm is not truth. It's an untrained system screaming for reps. Here's the pivot. You must start treating discomfort like a compass, not a wall. Stop asking, do I feel like it? Feelings fluctuate. Standards don't. Aim straight at the thing that has heat on it. There's a reason your stomach flips when you think about that one conversation, that one chapter, that one lift, that one video, that one pitch. That's the direction, that's the rep you need. Balance stops being a default you protect and becomes something you earn after exposure. Warriors train, then rest. Civilians rest, then negotiate training. Your calendar stops being a refuge where you hide from the hard. It becomes an arena you enter to fight what makes you flinch. This is where men separate. Constraints, not hacks, not flavor of the week. Hard constraints that remove escape routes until contact with the hard thing becomes your morning ritual. You strip the anesthesia. No silent tabs to graze on when the sentence gets tricky. No dopamine snacks to cheat the urge when the lift asks for one more set. If it steals focus, it goes. If it numbs hunger, it goes. You install gates that demand you touch the hard thing first, every day. Not when you're inspired. First, before the world gets a vote. Before your mood writes a poem about how you need sunlight to work. Your mood lost its right to negotiate the day you decided to be a man with a mission. You say you want confidence? You don't become confident by thinking. You become confident by surviving reality. You earn calm by walking into stress and leaving with proof. Proof that you can hold your line under fire. Proof that your word is iron. Proof that when fear tries to talk you out of your own life, you answer with action. You can't buy that proof. You can't study it into existence. You get it by doing the ugly reps that no one films and no one claps for. If the gym is full, go anyway. If the page is blank, type anyway. If the call might be awkward, dial anyway. Your nervous system learns from collisions. It recalibrates when it realizes you didn't die. That's how courage grows. Repetition, exposure, boredom with fear. Some of you hear this and want a manual. Fine. Here's the simple spine. Pick the one hard thing that builds your future and put it at the front of your day. Guard 3 hours like your life depends on it, because it does. Close every door, no notifications, phone in another room, food that fuels, not pacifies, water, silence, a timer that runs until it's done. If you need music, fine, but no digital grazing, no just checking. That phrase has killed more ambition than failure ever did. When the impulse to avoid hits, notice it like a bug on the windshield and keep your hands on the wheel. That's it. That's the training ground. That's how you turn courage from a mood into a reflex. You don't need to fix your whole life to start. You need to start exposing yourself to targeted, chosen discomfort daily. Engineer friction, protocols, not preferences, cold starts, first call reps, no sugar during the deep work block, no social media until after the kill is made. You are not depriving yourself. You are saying yes to something bigger than impulse. The engine you are trying to build runs on discomfort. Every time you switch it for ease, you starve it. When you feed it, it carries you through storms that used to knock you out in the first 5 minutes. Your excuses will fight back. They will become poetic. They will borrow words from therapy and religion and leadership quotes. They will talk about self-care and not burning out and how your creativity needs open space. And some of that is true in the right order. Rest is not a hiding place. Rest is a reward. Space is earned. Creativity blooms after you've tilled the soil, not when you're lying on it. Discipline first, then ease. Balance is not the blanket you hide under to avoid growth. Balance is the blanket you win after you've been out in the cold. You want masculine calm? You want that quiet that other men respect? You don't get it by opting out. You get it by contact. By facing discomfort until your pulse doesn't spike. By teaching your body that the sensation of risk is not a prophecy of disaster. Your brain will adapt. It will file the hard thing under normal. That's the entire game. Turn the unknown into known through exposure so rapid and consistent that fear runs out of vocabulary. When fear realizes you will not negotiate, it stops sending paragraphs and starts sending a single feeling you recognize and ignore. That's freedom. Not because the world gets easier, but because you get heavier. Some of you think you're trapped by circumstances, kids, job, bills. I respect obligations. I don't respect excuses that use them as shields. Your calendar is not the enemy. It's the mirror. If you truly can't find 3 hours, find one. If you can't find one, find 30 minutes and guard it like a soldier at the door. You can carve time out of a life that looks full by removing what keeps you soft, food that sedates, screens that steal, habits that leak attention. The hardest part is not the plan. It's admitting that you have the power to enforce it. Stop outsourcing your agency. Stop telling me your boss or your wife or your stress started the fire. Put your hand on the wheel and turn. Hear this clearly. The life you want is hidden behind the actions you avoid, not the ones you organize, not the ones you color code, the ones you dodge. You know exactly which ones they are. They have heat, they buzz when you think about them. They make your stomach do a slow, ugly somersault. Good, that's the compass. Go there, and go there first. Front load discomfort, rear load comfort, flip the default. This is how men are built, by contact, not by comfort. If you wait for perfect energy, you will lose years. Energy follows action, respect follows proof, confidence follows survival. You can't think your way into honor, you act your way into it. You tell your body what the standard is and you hold that line until your feelings stop interrupting. The man you want to be isn't hiding. He's suffocating under layers of compromise you keep calling moderation. Strip it, remove the buffers, put your bare knuckles on your life and push until it pushes back, then push 3 more minutes. That's the minute you've never met. That's where your respect lives. The old story says growth should be gentle, it should feel aligned, it should fit easily with your flow. That sounds pretty. It sells journals, but excellence has a price. And the payment window is open every day. No one tucks you in tonight and whispers, "You did enough." Only you know. Only you feel the distance between your mouth and your behavior. If that distance exists, you won't sleep right. Stop calling it anxiety, call it misalignment. Call it what it is, your standards punishing you for betraying them. I'm not asking you to become a machine. I'm asking you to become a man with a code. Codes are not vibes. Codes are not, I work when I feel like it. And a code says, this happens because I said so. When the alarm hits, you get up. When the block starts, you start. When the feeling to flee shows up, you stay. When the sugar calls, you pass. When the phone buzzes, you ignore it. Not forever, for the window that builds the future. Because the future is not born in open windows, it's built in sealed rooms where you face what you'd rather avoid and you keep facing it until it submits. And yes, people will talk. They will say you're too rigid, too intense. They will invite you back to comfortable. They will offer balance like a soft chair. But here's what they won't do. They won't carry your regret when you're 45 and realize you outsourced your prime to moods. They won't shoulder the weight when your son looks at you to learn what discipline looks like and you have to teach him platitudes because you never built proof. You are building a man others will experience. Decide what kind of experience you want to be. Soft is kind until it's not. Gentle is generous until it's cowardly. Choose strength so you can give real safety to the people who depend on you. If you hit a wall, don't think. Simplify. Shorter blocks, tighter constraints, brutal honesty. If the office tempts you to scroll, work somewhere cold with no Wi-Fi. If the kitchen tempts you to graze, keep only what fuels effort in the house. If nights break your edge, go to bed like a farmer. Make it so simple you can't hide. That's not childish, that's tactical. That's how professionals behave. They remove options until anything but the right thing is hard to do. And then they execute. Not perfectly, relentlessly. And yes, you will fail reps, you will miss the block, you will cave to the cookie, you'll open the tab. When that happens, don't spiral, don't make it into identity, close it, throw the rest away, set the timer again, back on rep after rep, you'll feel the shift. The alarms get quieter, the urge to flee arrives later, the wall gets thinner. This is how courage becomes automatic. This is how you stop faking balance and start earning calm. Because calm isn't a scented candle. Calm is the quiet of a man who kept his word to himself for a long time. Get this through. You don't deserve comfort because you breathe today. You earn it by carrying weight. Comfort is a trophy, not a couch. The world will hand you an unlimited buffet of sedation and call it modern life. You will nod, and then you will wonder why your chest feels hollow at night. Don't numb it. Listen, that hollow is a map. It's pointing at the missing work, the swallowed truth, the decision you dodged. Your job is to move toward it, not away. That's the only way the hollow fills, with evidence you can trust. Stop bargaining with fear like it's your partner. Fear is a consultant. You can thank it for the data, then ignore its terms. Its terms are always the same: smaller, later, easier, safer. And then your life becomes that: smaller, later, easier, safer, until one day you wake up and wonder why no one respects you, including you. If you want respect, carry risk. If you want peace, carry pain now so it doesn't multiply into resentment later. Pain paid upfront shrinks. Pain minimized becomes debt, and debt compounds. This is not about punishing yourself, it's about parenting yourself. Good fathers don't let their sons dissolve into comfort. They train them to do hard things, to hold their own line, to finish what they start. Be that father to the man in the mirror. Talk to him like a leader, not with fluff, with standards. This is who we are, this is what we do. The mood doesn't get a vote. Simple, hard, clear. You won't get applause for this, at least not at first. What you will get is private dignity. You will look at your own eyes in the mirror and not flinch. That is rare. That is wealth. And then, slowly, results will appear where there used to be intentions. Projects will close. Strength will grow. Skills will sharpen. Opportunities will notice a man who is busy becoming undeniable. People call that luck. It isn't. Luck is what discipline looks like from far away. Now I'm going to say what you already know. Tomorrow morning, do the hard thing first, not second. Not after emails, not after news. Before the world opens its mouth. Hard thing. First. 3 hours if you can. 1 if you can't. Verify your loyalty to your own future. Remove every numbing habit for the window. Phone in a drawer. Sugar out of the room. Music, if it helps you push. Silence if it helps you hear your excuses die. Then move. Don't decorate it. Don't name it. Attack, stabilize, finish. And when you stop, stop clean. Then earn your balance. Play with your kids fully in the room because you killed what you had to kill. Laugh with your woman with zero guilt because you bled already. Sleep like a soldier after a fulfilled mission. That is the rhythm. Exposure, then ease. Hard, then soft. Push, then peace. Not the other way around. Backwards order breaks men. Right order builds them. You want a line to remember? Here. The life you want is hidden behind the actions you avoid. Keep that blade in your pocket. Draw it when the old story tries to take over. Slice through the reasons. Walk into the rep. Feel the burn. Breathe. Count down from 5 and go. Again, again, again. You're not building a weekend. You're building a spine. This is the moment you decide whether comfort remains your king. This is where you stop letting fear dress up as strategy. This is where you end the quiet betrayal. Choose chosen discomfort. Engineer it into your morning, stitch it into your days, hold it even when no one's watching. Become the man whose standard outranks his feelings. Become the builder whose behavior finally equals his ambition. Let your courage fire automatically because you practiced discomfort until it lost its mystique. No more waiting. No more balance as a shield. No more sophisticated reasons to avoid the thing that would change your life. Stand up. Strip the anesthesia, enter the arena, touch the hard thing first, and keep touching it until the man you talk about is the man you are. Then and only then, the calm you've been chasing will sit beside you, quiet and earned, not as a gift from fate, but as the byproduct of your own hardness.